Hi guys, your man Dr. CY is here again, and today I have with me another interesting running shoe for your perusal. I am not a professional athlete by any means. I'm just a medical doctor, a radiologist precisely that is in love with running. I've been running for years. I used to run in anything until I ran in my first pair of proper running shoes, and that was the Nike Odyssey React. The first day I ran in those shoes, I felt like Adam must have felt after he ate the forbidden fruit. Since then, running and running shoes have been like a passion for me. Many years down the line, I'm much older, but my pace, my stamina have more than doubled. So guys, this is my bit to help other runners make better choices in their running shoes and take their run also to the next level. What you run in actually does matter. If you are watching this video right now, you are most likely interested in running, so I urge you to click that subscribe button. You are not going to regret it. My analysis of running shoes are pretty incisive, one of the best if I may say. So click that notification bell so you don't miss out, because I've got lots of interesting stuff just coming up. So guys, that out of the way, let's head straight to the shoe review. So I have with me today the latest offering in the Gel Nimbus line from Asics, the Asics Gel Nimbus 25. The Gel Nimbus 25 shoe's soft cushioning properties help you feel like you are landing on clouds. Now, that's from the Asics website. And if you've seen any of my reviews, you know I like to read all these promises, and then on the run test, I check out how much they delivered on these promises. So as we head into the review here, we'll find out how well they delivered on this promise. Now, compared to the previous model of this shoe, the Nimbus 24, the Gel Nimbus 25 looks and feels like a totally different shoe. So many things in this fashion has been updated, from the outsole, midsole, even the upper. And of course, it added a few more grams. Asics say they added 20% more foam to the midsoles, and looking at the profile, they are quite obvious. I have put in about 60 kilometers in these shoes. I don't need any more miles to make up my mind in these, because these have been quite a blast right out of the box. The general material of this upper is not too thick, but it looks and feels very tough. It's soft and feels nice and comfortable around the feet. The upper wraps nicely around the feet and feels very supportive. There are lots of padding around the collar and the heel counter for extra comfort in this region. You see lots of perforations in the toe box and on the sides to add nice breathability to these shoes. I did 15 kilometers in the heat of the Middle East summer, and my feet felt quite nice. They are nicely breathable. If you look at it also, you see that the toe box is very wide. You have more than enough room for your toes and feet to nicely spread out. The lockdown on these shoes is another point that is quite notable. Superb lockdown to these shoes. There's nothing like a good lockdown. You know, a shoe that feels like an extension of your feet. That's when you maximize your potential. Like I mentioned earlier, the paddings along the collar are quite thick and also more prominent in the upper parts of the collar and the heel counter. They create a concavity where the heel sits, giving a superb lockdown to these shoes. If you also look at the lacing system, you see that there's some kind of change. Instead of the traditional lacing system in the previous version, you now have this design where the eyelets are coming off the medial margin of the lace cage. They do a great job in holding the midfoot in place. The only worry is because of this design, I hope they really do last long with strenuous use. But the overall effect of all is a superb lockdown, no sign of a heel slip at all. You have almost the sock-like feet. The tongue is fully gusseted, thin and stretchy, and molds nicely around the front of the ankle. When you are wearing stockings, they feel very soft and nice. You don't even notice that they are there. But if you are wearing this shoe without stockings, maybe you want to wear them a pair of shorts with ankle stockings when the front of the ankle is bare, they do feel a little rough when they are in contact with bare skin. Little padding around here would have been appreciated. Another thing is the design of the heel tab. I find it quite easy and it works nicely, coming like an extension of the lining of the heel counter. It makes it very firm and strong and really works nice, in good position to help you slide your foot in. Asics branding on both sides. Also, the lining of these are minimally reflective, and especially this tiny dot here is also reflective for better visibility for night runners. The sole consists of the insole, the midsole, and the outsole. These shoes have a somewhat rocker shape underneath. The rocker geometry is what is being utilized by most running shoe makers these days. And I understand why, because it really does work. It enhances transition from landing to off, making your run more efficient. The Autolite insole is removable, soft and doughy, and adds significantly to the underfoot comfort of this shoe. And on the rear end, it has a nice concavity that cradles the heel, and that also gives a very nice feel to these shoes. The midsole, you can see there are lots of midsole in these shoes. A whooping 41.5 millimeters in the heel and 33.5 millimeters in the fourth, giving an 8 millimeter heel to toe drop. The major function of the midsole, of course, is shock absorption. Touching them, you can feel how soft they are. In shock absorption, I score it 99 to 100%. Why do I give this much? Because this gives as much shock absorption as any running shoe can give. There's no hint of any stress up the ankles or knees when I was running in these shoes. My feet felt fantastic. The full-length Flight Foam Blast midsole offers fantastic soft landing. And yes, it does feel like you are landing on clouds. Now, to the response, despite all the midsole in these shoes, these are also decently responsive. It is not explosive by any means, but it has enough response to add some pop to your run. I was able to pick up the pace easily in these shoes. The thick midsole gives 0 ground feel. The arch support in these is also pretty decent. Over 15-kilometer runs, my feet felt nice and comfortable. These are neutral runners. I didn't notice any problem. These were decently stable throughout my runs. I didn't experience any difficulty at all. But if you have stability issues, you may need to check out with whoever is guiding you to test out the one that is best for you. But for regular fit guys like us, this felt fantastic. The summary of everything in this midsole is a comfortable, smooth, and responsive ride. Now, if you look at the outsole, you can see, if you use the previous version or you've seen it, you will see that the outsole is completely changed from the previous version. Instead of the Asics Lite that they used in the 24, here they went back to the Hair Plus outsole. These look smoother, a little shaved down, not as thick as the outsole in the previous version, probably trying to cut down on the weight. However, these felt nicely grippy on the pavement. I took my corners with confidence. The only thing I consider is the durability of the outsole in these shoes. Only time will tell how much these will last. There are some outsoles, when you look at them, you just believe. Like the outsole of the Invincible Run 3. This shoe fits true to size. I got my usual size in this and they fit perfect. Talking about the weight of these shoes, I put these on the scale and they weighed 316 grams in this size US 11 or EU 45. We can say that this is on the heavy side, but we also know that the absolute weight of running shoes don't really tell the full story. It's more of the balance between the weight and the response. A heavier shoe with better response is going to give you a better ride than a lighter shoe that is not responsive. For these shoes, the bounce you got from these more than compensates for the weight, such that they do feel light on the feet. It looks fantastic, and when you put them on feet, they even look better. Now, these are retailing for $160 in the United States. But here in Saudi Arabia, it's going between 717 to 969 Saudi Riyal. That's between 190 to a whopping $258. You can see that the price difference is quite substantial. So if you have anybody coming from there and you need these shoes, you might as well get it from there and save yourself a whole lot of cash. So in summary, this is a max cushioned, comfortable, responsive, and good-looking daily trainer, and it also looks pretty durable. What are my recommendations for these shoes? Of course, when we are talking about recommendations, we are talking of individual preferences. And we know that individual preferences vary. Many people like firm midsole, while some, like me, like a very soft midsole. Some people prefer speed over comfort, while some of us who are not professional athletes, who run for fitness, prefer comfort over speed. So I think the better thing will be go to the meat of the review. What are the things that matter to you? Look at how this shoe performs. How does the upper feel? How does the midsole perform? What is the lockdown like? And everything. So you can use all these points to make your choices. But all the same, for me, I feel this is a very versatile daily trainer for a comfortable and secure run. For any distance, this can go for short distance, this can go for marathon distance. The maximum I put in this so far is about 17 kilometers in a single run. For short bursts of speed, this can also stand its ground. In fact, a few days ago, I threw it down. I wanted to see exactly what these shoes can do. I finished a 5.5 kilometer run in 4 minutes and 43 seconds per kilometer in these shoes. And that is my personal best so far in a 5K distance. But where you are going to enjoy this shoe more is in the long distance, steady runs. So long as you understand, of course, no shoe is going to do the running for you. You will still have to lift your feet and move them one in front of the other. I think these shoes will also be great for everyone, including beginners, seasoned athletes, and especially older guys due to the level of cushioning. and on feet, they feel so comfortable. All day wear, they are fantastic. So this will also make a very nice casual wear. There's a kind of class and sexiness to the look of these shoes. And also, I use these shoes in the gym for all forms of exercise. They were good for even exercises that required balance, but even better in those that required jumps. Now, for the value for money for these shoes, well, if I were living in the United States and I got this for 160 USD, of course, I will give it a huge thumbs up. But here in Saudi Arabia, if you buy these shoes for 258 USD, for me, I think that is quite pricey. The only thing I know is that if you get these shoes, you are not going to regret it. There's nothing like you finish running 15 kilometers, you come back, you take your bath, and then wear your shoes and go about your normal duties for the whole day without any form of strain or stress on your feet. That's why we wear shoes to run. So guys, those are my thoughts on the Asics Gel Nimbus 25. Once again, I urge you to please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You are definitely not going to regret it. Better things are coming up steadily. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, it's goodbye.